Breaking news, we have a verdict out of the state of Georgia in the case against Trinity Poague. You can see, Michael, 2 hours, 56 minutes. They had a question. Now we understand they have a verdict.
Yeah, we see that from time to time when juries have a question. It doesn't take too long after that for them to resolve any issues that they had. Again, Trinity Poague charged with murder in the death of the son of her then boyfriend who had been staying at her dorm room. He had left her in the room with the baby. The baby ended up with some very serious injuries. So the supposition is that she caused those injuries, but of course the defense is claiming she did not, and perhaps they were caused by someone else or at some other time. Let's bring back in our guest still with us, criminal defense attorney Forrest Miller. Forrest, as I said, a lot of times you get these questions. This is a little quick, but a lot of times you get these questions, and then the jury sort of clarifies what's going on in there, and then they come out with a verdict.
Yeah, I'm surprised that it came so quickly after. We were waiting for maybe 20 more minutes. That's great. They got their stuff clarified. That was obviously holding them up from their verdict. They defined some things and they pulled the trigger. So I'm excited to see what the verdict is.
I was surprised it was that quick as well. And we do want to mention that is a live picture of the defendant. They're the judges. He just took the bench. We do not have any audio yet. We're waiting for the jury to get back in there. And I have to just comment on her demeanor. She's been a little bit like that. We see her now. I would be worried. I think 3 hours in, if it were me, I would be worried. Forrest, tell us what you think. And if we cut you off, it's only because they've started court.
Sure, understood. Yes, I think it's my opinion that when verdicts come quickly like this, that it's most often bad news. So her demeanor is appropriate. I think that she has some bad news coming down the pike right now.
Forrest, she didn't take the stand in her own defense. Do you think that was a mistake? I certainly do.
She can't really explain too much. They found the body in her room, and maybe to her personally, maybe she wants to hold that close and not really divulge the information that she has, and it's her prerogative. But I really don't think she could have talked her way out of this.
All right.
I think.
Foreperson, does the jury
Yep, we have audio. Let's go in.
All right, if you would pass that to my bailiff, please. All right, Ms. Poague, if you would please stand. The verdict reads as follows, as to each count. On count 1, it says, we, the jury, find the defendant not guilty. On counts 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, the verdict reads, we, the jury, find the defendant guilty. Of felony murder, 2 counts, aggravated battery, 2 counts, and cruelty to child in the 1st degree. Y'all can have a seat. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a tough week for you, I'm sure, and I know that you probably had a lot of places you would have rather been this week than here. I do want to thank you tremendously for your service. You have shown up, you've been on time, and you've paid thorough attention. You've taken in a lot of information this week, and you're obviously, from the fact that you've deliberated over this, you've looked at this very closely. So with that, your county appreciates the work you've done, and you'll receive a stipend. It's just a token of the county's appreciation. You are free to leave for the term. You're also free to, you can certainly step back into the courtroom through the other door if you wish to, or hang around if you want to speak with the lawyers, but you don't have to. You don't have to talk to anybody. You're welcome to leave at this time if you prefer. If you do, turn in your badges on your way out and make sure that your notes are in the jury room. And I really appreciate it. Y'all are free to go.
The jury is free to go. We're waiting to see what the judge does next. Her explosive reaction to the not guilty on malice murder, meaning no intent. But
Was there anything hold the jury for just a second? Ask them to step into the jury room. No, ask them to step into the jury room. Ask them to just step into the jury room. Yeah.
In the jury room.
Chad, if you'll pass this down, please pass this down to the lawyers.
All right, while they're just figuring that out, we can go back in when he starts to speak with the lawyers. But I just want to mention all the lesser charges has the same potential sentence, Michael, as malice murder. The judge will decide whether it's life without parole or life with the possibility of parole, even on these lessers of felony murder.
Yeah, so I was a little surprised at how happy the family was at the malice murder being not guilty, because basically, like you said, they carry the same penalties, so she's really not out of the woods. But I want to say the cruelty to children charge, which she was also found guilty of, that's one sentence that can be added consecutive to whatever the judge finds. I think I hear the judge again.
Mr. Gamble?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. All right, my proposal would be to let's proceed with sentencing. I would like to give you all about 15 minutes and come back in and I'll hear from both sides, and then I'll pass sentence. So it's 4:35. I'll be back in at 10 minutes until 5, and go ahead and hear from both parties and conduct sentencing. Thank y'all.
All right, so you heard the judge there. They're actually going to do sentencing today.
Yeah.
They're going to take a quick 15-minute break. The attorneys will then make their arguments to the judge, and the judge ultimately will make that decision whether she gets life in prison with parole or life without parole. And I think death might be on the table. Not sure it's on there for felony murder or not, but I think certainly life with parole or life without parole will be on the table.
I think the death is on the table, too. Under the sentencing guidelines, right, that's a possibility.
Right.
I just have to mention that now that the defense just found out what she's been found guilty of, not malice murder, I'm a little surprised they don't want to think about sentencing to determine what witnesses, if any, they want to present. But that's not what's going to happen.
That's not what's going to happen.